over blue rivers they tumbled and sang. My lips are cracked and my toes full of sand. I drank tea in Kabul, I drank tea in my shed, I drank TNT in a place called Iran. Happy I am, I come all this way to give love to my wife. Happy I am, I come all this way, all this. I sat all over a crowded trucks full of little babies crying. People stared at me because I wasn't there. Kind of felt like the Pied Piper was dancing the stone. Three bunches of kids, they wouldn't leave me alone. Happy I am, I come all this way to give love to my wife. Happy I am, I come all this way, all this, all this, all this, all this. What the? This one's for the R&T. Everyone done that right, that murmuration of birds. This might even be in here somewhere, I don't know. It's another dancey one. Oh, baby, gonna go down. Like it, like it, oh, keep over home, oh, we gonna go down. Like it, like it, keep over home, it rains on other people's gardens. Me, I'm suffering drought. They're all harvesting fruit trees. Me, at least I have this tiny sprout. I put a tether in the river. I didn't catch a trout. The quickest way for me to feel rich is to know what I can live without. Is to realise what I can live without. I once bought a round of drinks that I couldn't afford, trying to look like I was living like a lot. I let myself be robbed. Call it generosity, I never charged anyone. I always gave it for free. I had nothing left to lose. I had everything to win. I was keeping the wolves from the door. Then I decided to invite them in. Then I decided to invite them in. La la la. Oh, do di da la la la. La di da oh bum porai. Piki pi papa bum porai. Do di da do porai. Do di da do porai. I'm getting thin, I'm losing weight, while other people are looking plump and stout. Some live on the roast beef, some will live on spuds and sauerkraut. Why did I walk into this bar? Here comes another round of drinks that I can't afford to shout. The quickest way for me to feel rich is to know what I can live without. Is to realise what I can live without. I got used to being hungry, I got used to drought. How could I accept things I never had, and then I'd always try to live without? Ain't it strange the wounds you get used to, carrying heartbreak and pains? Used to being careful with money, used to wood fires and being calm in hurricanes. I got used to being poor and in trouble, used to being in jail. People say it's strange, relaxing, getting comfortable, and sleeping on a bed of nails, and sleeping on a bed of nails. La la la, oh di gana bora la la bara, la di di boro borai, piki pi baba ho bora, ado di ida, udo bora, ado di ida, udo bora, ado di ida. Christ turned winter into wine at the Last Supper, and I don't doubt that my first meal of the day will be the leftovers, the scraps that they throw out. I tried the cocktail round with the Starvation Army, the peace was almost out. I got a crust of bread to mop out my bowl, I was so happy to eat. I nearly swallowed my mouth. Everyone has plenty, me, I ain't got out. I'm washing rags, my clothes are warm. People tell me I look like I lay about. I tell myself in not being thrifty, like a good Boy Scout. The quickest way for me to feel rich is to know what I can live without. Is to realise what I can live without. I stand around useless like an old scarecrow. When I get up in the morning, I get vertigo. He made no friend who never made a foe. Would we love life more if we were on death row? I'm walking by the river of Bermondsey, back to Seabridge, Wandsworth, Chelsea. I felt like an orphan, like a refugee. Was I following the Thames, or was it following me? Was I following the Clyde, or was it following me? See what little I have, it looks like diddly squat. Oh, you have nothing, a little is a love. Ba-ba-da, oh, the big and ba-da-la. Ba-ba-da, like it die, body bom borai, iki pi pa pa ho bom borom, ago di aida, odo borom, ago di aida, odo borom, ago di aida, odo borom, ago di aida, all in the tangles you try to untie by telling, but you tie yourself up with the one who is told. Grandma's hands are stiff when I hold on, they're freezing. She's still refusing to get old. I think it's her bed, can't close her handbag, can't do the buttons of her jumper room. Her body's gone wrong, but stubborn and strong. She argues with the doctor. Well, call me the nurse, I don't want to hearse. The cops are getting younger, the stairs are getting longer, your voice is getting quieter, the wind is getting stronger. From Russia and 9 months old, she's still got all her teeth, some are filled with gold, but they hurt her now when she drinks something cold. She won't stand a false teeth for rattling in a gobble. I think it's her bag, I suppose her handbag, under the buttons of her jumper. Her body's gone wrong, but stubborn and strong. She argues with the doctor. Well, call me the nurse, I don't want to hearse. The cops are getting younger, the stairs are getting longer, your voice is getting quieter, the wind is getting stronger. Grandma was raised near Stepney Green, near Aldgate East and the Petticoat Lane. And mother always made sure there was food to eat, but as a girl she ran around with her shoes on her feet. Her dad spoke Russian and not much English, her grand translated for Cockney to Yiddish. She mothered her brothers and dowered her mother. The blindfold got to stop her daughter seeing her father, cause he was an atheist, he wasn't kosher. Our mum and daddy eloped so they could get closer, but my great-grand told my mum, you're loving, that's enough, cause my great-grand was forced to wear them and she did all love. Grandma said I didn't know it, but times are very hard then, but then at least there was the dancing. Well, at least we could go dancing. La 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 dee da dee da da. La 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 dee da da. Bahita dee da, okoko danda, do da da dee na 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 da da. Bahita dee da, okoko danda, do da da dee na na na. The oldest sister, so I never had a childhood. When I was 6 years old, she taught us how to spoon feed and carry my brothers till they were old enough to walk. As a girl, she worked as a seamstress. That's how her 9 brothers and her sister were fed. She's got a little hole in her front tooth from the constant biting of the cotton and thread. I think it's her bag, I put her handbag under the buttons of the jumper. Her body's gone wrong, we're stubborn and strong. She argues with the doctor. Well, call me the nurse, I don't want to hearse. The cops are getting younger, the stairs are getting longer, your voice is getting quieter, the wind is getting stronger. Well, at 70 years I saw her throw a Diablo and catch it spinning on a piece of string. She could touch her toes, a shoot and net bone, spin around the ballroom dancing. Well, she's from Dangos, Chancers and Tangos, she and her grandpa with foxtrot. They want prizes but illness sacrifices youth, so now they are both stopped. But call me the nurse, I don't want to hearse. The cops are getting younger, the stairs are getting longer, your voice is getting quieter, the wind is getting stronger. Call me the nurse, I don't want to hearse. The cops are getting younger. I'm away. The stairs are getting longer, your voice is getting quieter, the wind is getting stronger. Wind is getting stronger. Wind is baby's getting. This recording is there with them on it. I'll get on with the song. When You Were Born. If I hope I can remember it. My dad asked me to go on an errand, so I wrapped you up in a towel and put you in a bag with underwear. I took you with me to the shop where I was going, past the health centre, and I left you there in the park on the hill under a blackberry bush. I didn't look back. You were sleeping, my heart was in my mouth, I was crying inside, and voices in my head were quarrelling and speaking. I looked out all day to see if you'd been found. I was relieved when you were rescued, but I was sad you were gone. I would never see you again. I knew everything was wrong, but I felt so lonely and I was so frightened that I would be hated and I would feel scorned. I felt so scared, confused and so tearful when you were born. I had a sad, bad dream about a missing babe. The babe was crying and I cried in my dream. When I woke up, tears were rolling down my face. I wanted to be with you then. For the first time I realised I wanted to be a mother. There was my poor child crying hungry in the hospital room, and she had no one with her. She must have felt so lonely, and I was so frightened that I would be hated and I would feel scorned. I felt so scared, confused and so tearful when you were born. I heard they found a baby left abandoned. I heard it on the news. That's me they're talking about, on that baby's mother, and they haven't got a clue. I was worried about you, and soon I wondered why. Oh no. I heard they found a baby left abandoned. I heard it on the news. That's me they're talking about, on that baby's mother, and they haven't got a clue. I was worried about you, and soon I wanted to tell someone that it was me all the people were talking about. I was that baby's mum, but I felt so lonely and I was so frightened that I would be hated and I would feel scorned. I felt so scared, confused and so tearful when you were born. I phoned the police and said make sure she'll be alright. Please look after my baby. Your baby's fine. How are you? They asked, trying to get information to find me. I got scared and put the receiver down. I was shaking as I hung off. But I would phone the police twice a day to talk from a local telephone box. When I felt so lonely and I was so frightened that I would be hated and I would feel scorned. I felt so scared, confused and so tearful when you were born. one day a policewoman came up and asked me gently if I was your mum. Yes, I told her I am. She said, don't be frightened, sweetheart, please come along. My mum and dad stood up and they hugged me, asking gently, darling, why didn't you tell us? My mum was a grandma, now you're a grandma. I was surprised by my mother's grandma-ness. We brought you home, my mum and dad held you and me, but they didn't show me any scorn. And I asked myself, when will I tell my daughter this story about how she was born? But when I felt so lonely and I was so frightened that I would be hated and I would feel scorned, I felt so scared, confused and so tearful when you were born. But when I felt so lonely and I was so frightened that I would be hated and I would feel scorned, I felt so scared, confused and so tearful when you were born. Cheers.